I think I had 30 something out of 100. I know. I was like, what? It's an open book exam. Who fails an open book exam? And the pass mark for NCA is 50. So I was very confused. I think I had a 40 something or a 30 something. Anyways, that was in past. Hello beautiful people, welcome to the third part of the NCA series. So I got a question asking, can I fail the NCA exam? Is it possible to fail? And the answer is yes, it is possible to fail an NCA exam. And in fact, I failed my NCA, my criminal law exam, at my first attempt. The NCA exam is an open book exam, and what that means is you're allowed to bring in as many materials as you want, textbooks, study materials, print them and bring them in. It is an open book exam. And I'm sure someone is wondering, how do you fail an open book exam? I was wondering the same thing when I failed, but apparently it is possible to fail the NCA exam, and it doesn't matter that it's an open book exam. It is possible to fail. So please have that at back of your mind. Also, the NCA exam is for 3 hours, right? The exam is for 3 hours, and it's a theory exam, a theory-based exam. It is not multiple choice, unlike the bar exams. The bar exams are multiple choice exams, the Ontario bar exams, which I'm going to talk about, in another video. Like I said in the last part of the NCA series, there are different centers. You walk into any of those centers and you write your criminal law exam for 3 hours. So they give you a couple of theory-based questions, and you have to answer these questions in 3 hours. So I'll just give you a quick background of how I failed and what happened when I failed. It was a very sunny day. The birds were flying, the sun was shining, I was looking gorgeous. And then I had to check my results. I checked and I saw F. Sister MOYO, don't fail. Of course, it wasn't a pleasant experience. NCA sent me an email saying that, now that you have failed, we are going to give you something called a failure report. Now, this happened a long time ago. 2017 is a long time ago. So I might not exactly remember the details of everything, but I will try my best to explain everything, as I remember. So they sent me an email and said, now that you have failed, we're going to give you something called a failure report. And I think they gave me a time limit to, download this failure report and, just go through it. So I clicked on it and I downloaded it. And that failure report was amazing because it broke down. First of all, it told me what my score was. I think I had 30 something out of 100. I know. I was like, what? It's an open book exam. Who fails an open book exam? And the pass mark for NCA is 50. So I was very confused. I think I had a 40 something or a 30 something. Anyways, that was in past. So, they told me what I scored, and then they answered the questions for me, So they gave me this is the question, this was your answer, what you did wrong, why your answer was wrong. It was very detailed, very detailed, So the examiner told me this was what you did wrong, this was where you got it wrong, this is what we expected of you. And so I reviewed that the failure reports, and I understood what I did wrong. I understood where I needed to improve and what I needed to improve upon. NCA gave a strong warning that failure report is not to be shared with anybody. You're supposed to review it and I think destroy it or something. And they give you like a time frame between when you can download that failure report, because after a while you won't have access to that link again. So I don't remember the time frame. I really don't remember. But I reviewed the failure report and it was very good for me. Oh, it was very helpful. So I think the next thing they did, again, this happened a long time ago, so I don't remember in details, but I think the next thing that happened was we were invited. So those who failed, we had a choice, or we had an option of coming into a room. So I remember, I think I went down to Osgood Great Library or something downtown Toronto, and they put all of us in a room, those people that failed. So I think people were there for different courses. Some people had failed criminal law, some people had failed constitutional law, some people had failed contracts, you know, different people with different failures were in one room. And so I remember, I think, I'm trying to remember very carefully. So I think we were asked to bring the failure reports that they sent to us, which I did. So I brought that report, and they gave us our scripts. They also give us the NCA questions, because when you write the NCA questions, unfortunately, you are not allowed to take out your question paper. I know in Nigeria, after our exams, we're usually allowed to take out our question papers, but here in Canada, for the NCA exam, you have to leave your question paper in the exam hall. So we're given the question paper, we had the NCA reports, and I think I had my answers, my criminal law answers. So I was able to sit down and efficiently analyze everything I did wrong, you know, everything I did wrong. But in that room, you're not allowed to hold your phone. Your phone should be in your bag. You're not allowed to, you know, use your phone to take pictures and all of that, because remember that the NCA, you're not allowed to take your NCA question paper out of the exam hall. So they don't want any a situation where someone is trying to take pictures of the questions, you know, and take pictures of they don't want that. So you're supposed to keep your phone in your bag. And I also remember that I think we're not allowed to even have like a pen and a paper in the hall, right? So they give you time, I think maybe 5 minutes or something. If you wanted to write anything out, you were allowed to excuse yourself from the room, go to the hall or the lobby and just write, just, you know, pen down some things, and then come back, review the question, your failure reports, your answers, review whatever you want to review, come out, write, take some notes. I think that was how it was done. Like I said, this happened a long time ago, so I don't remember vividly, but I think that was how it was done. And I think the rationale behind it is that they don't want you copying, they don't want you to have the questions. I don't know if they repeat questions, I really don't know, but if you're allowed to hold a phone or a pen, it defeats the whole purpose, because they don't want you to have the question paper, right? So you go in, if you can cram, if your head is big and you have the ability to retain information at once, good for you. I used to know how to cram in high school, but now I don't know how to cram anymore. So, you know, I reviewed whatever I could review, went out, took notes, came back. So I think after you are done, I think you have a 2-hour window to do all of that. Again, don't quote me, I don't remember vividly, I'm just saying things how I remember it. So you have a window or a space to do all of that. Once you're done, you have to return the question paper, all the documents, return it back to there's someone in the hall. It's not just the people who failed that are in the hall. There is also, I think there's an examiner or maybe 2 examiners or something. So you have to return all the documents to that person, and then you can take your leave. But honestly, that little exercise helped me, because when next I wrote criminal law, I went in. Obviously, I got a tutor, you know, to teach me the basic principles, and but I also went in with a clearer understanding. Okay, this was what I did wrong. When next, you know, I see this kind of question, this is how I'm supposed to answer it. This is what the examiner expects of me. You know, I went in understanding what was required of me in that exam. So yes, it is possible to fail an NCA exam, but just know that if you fail, it's not the end of the world. You know, you have another opportunity to write the exam. Like I said, you have 3 tries to write the exam, and if you fail it after 3 times, you might be granted a 4th trial after you present your learning plan to the NCA according to their policies. But if you fail, just understand that it's not the end of the world. Once you get your failure reports, once you have an opportunity to review all the documents, trust me, you will be fine, and you will go into the exam hall the 2nd time ready to crush it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the NCA series. I really took my time to break down everything, you know, in a simple way, so that all of you who want to become licensed to practice law in Canada can understand. And like I said, the NCA process is compulsory in every province. It doesn't matter what province you are in, you have to do the NCA process. So I hope all of you who watch this video, you are going away with enough information, you know, ready to take on the whole NCA process and with better understanding, because I know all these informations, they are online and people can easily access them, but people don't really understand. People want someone who will sit down and break it down for them, and that's why you have Ask Mo. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and see you in the next episode of Ask Mo. Bye.